My first 2 rounds were pretty good. Yesterday was bogey-free. I definitely got some different birdies each round, so today I'm kind of trying to put all those birdies together in one round and shoot really well.
Sometimes this course gets you. It's one of the hardest courses in the world to play under par on. Any hole can get you. You can't take any shot for granted or any hole for granted. And sometimes it's just got to go your way a bit. And today I'm just going to try, throw good shots, and then things will go my way.
I'm just trying to play loose, just play my game, try to play aggressive. That's how I like to play, and yeah, just see what I can do.
Didn't have a great week at Green Mountain last week, and I'm really happy to follow up with this performance so far. I'm just going to stick to my game plan that I've been playing and just try not to give up any strokes and drop myself any unnecessary spots.
I feel like I'm throwing some pretty good shots. I have a pretty good game plan, so try not to change too much and just, attack and commit to all my shots.
Just like any other day, play the best of your ability and hit your lines and make your putts.
Hello and welcome to the third and final round coverage of the 2020 MVP Open at Maple Hill, presented by MVP Disc Sports. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here one more time by Tristan Tanner. What is going on, man? What a week of disc golf we've had.
Yeah, this has been an incredible weekend here at Maple Hill. Just this property is incredible, and just being up here in New England is a really great time for all of us.
And we've said it multiple times this weekend, what a perfect place to showcase professional disc golf in all the crazy skills that these athletes display. And thank you all out there, the fans, our Patreon supporters for Gatekeeper Media, helping us create more disc golf content for years to come. We finished this tournament off with Chris Dickerson, Nico Locastro, Josh Dibattista of New England, and Garrett Gurthie. Man, a lot of different skill sets here, and they're all in pretty good contention right now.
Yeah, for sure. And you see, the scores for this tournament, we don't get that far under par as we normally do, which is kind of interesting. But like you said, a lot of different skill sets to attack this course. And hole number 1 got an absolute bomb off the tee. Like I've said, trying to get somewhere near this road. And then, man, it can be a really tricky approach into this green, especially with the wind kind of being there and not there at the same time.
Yeah, there's so much touch required to put the disc on this protected green, but it still does totally reward a big distance thrower, which I do like.
Chris elects for a more flat release.
And that is a pretty solid flex shot, and
Wow.
he got over the Christmas trees, and actually he might be a little right, but still might have a chip shot sidearm.
We had a really good wind today to attack big distance off this hole.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a tailwind, and as you can see, Nico and Dickerson are just throwing huge Anheuser to combat that. And we haven't seen too much of Josh Dibattista, but everyone in New England knows him, and he has a super solid game. So it's going to be exciting to watch him kind of compete with all these touring pros coming to his home turf.
And we all know this guy, and he absolutely bombs the disc.
I believe this is a Halo Wraith he's throwing. Look how fast that came out of his hand.
Oh my gosh, and that's a perfect angle.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. What?
Well,
he's almost on the green, I guess.
That was large, and that was an 11 speed.
Wow, that was insane. Josh is just trying to get in good position here.
And Nico opting for that sidearm he's been working so hard on and just kind of cuts the corner a little bit too tight. I think he's still safe.
Chris just electing the layup. No sense in running the green from a bad angle.
And looks like Double G might be going sneaky route with a Sonic. Oh my
gosh, and he almost rang it up.
Okay.
This hole is not easy.
I think if you have 80 miles an hour of speed out of the hand, I think this hole can be a lot easier than it is for most people. That was incredible. And Chris is going to lay it up to about 10. You got to love playing disc golf for so long and still getting just blown away by some of the things people do.
Seriously. That's a great edge of circle putt for par on the first hole.
Dickerson taps in another par.
Yeah, and this hole only averaged a quarter of a stroke over par today, which is the easiest it's played all weekend, probably partly to that tailwind that
Exactly.
they've had.
And I think final round, a lot of people are just not trying to start out their round with anything too risky and get started off on the right note. If you kick early or you just throw one bad shot at Maple Hill, you could be taking 2-stroke swings very easily. And we move into hole number 2. A hole that has challenged players all weekend, and we've seen rarely any perfect shots. The reason being, from my observation, it felt like we had a tailwind off 1, but the wind coming back on hole 2 just does not feel like the reverse.
Yeah, it's definitely coming at some like weird different angles, and Garrett just left that one a little bit low. Nico has been playing the roller. Catches one of those rocks in common place there in the ditch.
Should be an easy up and down for 3. Maybe a little run from there as well. Yeah, you see the disc like weirdly stalling out. That did not look like it was supposed to fade out as early as it did. Weird wind pockets on this course, and they do seep in through the woods, which is also very challenging.
I like this. A little more Annie out of the hand. Still just didn't quite hold the turn. But he should have the closest look out of anybody on the card.
Nice little sidearm from the knee for Chris. And I've seen Nico make putts from here before multiple times. And he knew right away that was not going to be one of those instances. Here's a Sonic from G.
Oh, what? Great bid.
A little falling putt outside of circle 1.
Yeah, just had those limbs in the way.
And that's going to be a par for G.
Man,
That's 2 Sonic shots, back-to-back holes where I think he's feeling it today.
Yes, he
We will
definitely
see what
is.
happens.
And a bunch of pars for the card. That's right at what the hole was averaging today. And moving into hole number 3, back into the woods, and we got this tricky flex shot. The first hole where it feels like the elevation really plays a little bit more of a key on this hole, and then it finishes up, and it's that hard pack green where you can really get some weird action. I guess.
It's that weird tight flex line that really only a really solid player can hit. And I think it's a great pro level par 3. Double G throws it a little bit too low and kicks right. This is a shot Nico is very good at.
Yeah, this is a defender he's going with here. Choosing a little bit of faster disc, probably to get that late fade.
Mm-hmm. Oh, almost gets up right up next to the basket, but still, solid shot. Dickerson's actually gotten this back-to-back days. Oh.
That was a really good angle, just a little bit wide.
Yeah, Maple Hill is definitely a scrambler's course. It's rare to have a round here where you're not in some position that you've never seen before.
Yeah, and that was a really good approach from Double G.
Yeah, same with Josh here.
Yeah, beautiful. Nico's another one of these throw putts.
Oh.
Just a little bit low.
There's that Sunday Dickerson putt.
Yep.
Just outside circle 1. Taking a 2 on a very challenging par 3. And yeah, that's back-to-back birdies for Dickerson on that hole.
Good scramble from Garrett.
Kind of a questionable tap in there from Nico. I hope he didn't touch any chains, but interesting. We'll move into hole number 4.
Hole number 4 is a downhill par 3. Comes in at 250 feet, but plays much shorter than that. It's one of the rare holes on tour where we have very tricky distance control at a very short distance.
Yeah, and I love the fact that this hole, the purest gap here, the purest shot is kind of an old school, putter line. A lot of players are not wanting to throw the old school line here. We have Dickerson throwing a thumber. There's Double G going with the 1 speed. And it's just what the hole is shaped up for. But it's with that tight of a gap, it's so challenging still. There's Nico with a solid 1. No way!
Oh my gosh.
What a start to the round.
Holy cow.
We have seen Kale LaVisca ace this hole in the past with a very similar shot. And Josh gets a kind of a crazy reaction off the ground. That's, for how slow that disc was moving, you wouldn't expect that kind of skip.
Yeah, normally this hole Annie skips a lot of discs,
Yeah.
so to get the flare is kind of interesting.
Dickerson with the safe run, kind of stalling the disc a little bit.
A little bit of a roll away.
I like Garrett's choice to throw a little Annie putt with how hyzer his natural putt is. That could be roll away danger right there. And Josh actually buries a great putt after that skip.
Incredible.
And he's showing some serious composure here. And he will move on. Let's actually rewind that, so we can watch that again. Little bit of hyzer. That's a beautiful putting stroke.
Dead center the whole way. Not a whole lot of flutter.
And the beard mustache combo, not too bad either. Par there for Dickerson. Spin putt cashed by Nico from 20. Couple pars and a couple birdies for our card, moving into hole number 5. 285 feet, no fairway, over water the entire way, OB wall right next to the elevated pin. Honestly, we've said it before, but really the play is ace run.
Yeah, the play is an ace run, and this can be really interesting with the wind because the pressure of the water is totally different than what's over the land. Oh, and that's great angle control from Nico.
Yeah. Very solid.
Generally, with that backhand turnover, you see the spike anhyzer,
Yes.
as opposed to really controlling the last bit of the flight. Oh,
That was clean as well. We saw 2 little pan shots.
wow, that was amazing.
And this gap is not that open either. It's about 10 feet wide, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Dickerson's about circle's edge.
Oh, and this has a chance.
Oh,
Ooh.
my.
Man.
If you're wanting to learn the turnover shot, just watch this hole over and over
Yeah,
again.
those 3 shots 1,000 times, and you'll learn how
You'll
to throw,
definitely
throw a turnover.
definitely download that into your brain. Dickerson misses his birdie. Nico cashes the spin putt again. Mm-hmm. And that is 3 beautiful turnover birdies and 1 par for Dickerson. And we move into hole number 6, which is just a hole that can make or break even the best player in the world's round. Dead straight, downhill. And just to add, we have OB on both sides. And now, on the 3rd day, we had a heavy head right to left crosswind bleeding in through the outside on the right. So you not only have to hit the gap, you have to hit it reading the wind.
Yeah, this hole is playing so hard, averaging 0.6 of a stroke over par.
And that was a super overstable disc from Nico, and it still got shoved over to the left. That wind is totally affecting. If that's flippy enough.
Yeah, this is a very interesting wind to have on this hole because it is forcing you to throw overstable on a shot you don't want to throw overstable on.
Yeah, I think Josh opted to kind of play the crosswind right away and have it kind of flip his more straight disc up. And it's a really challenging line to do that. I think Double G did something very similar on his drive.
And there it got Chris a little bit. See if it has late fade.
And he's safe.
Yep. And over there by the wall, he will have an open look at the basket probably. Nico just not quite committing to that Sinus approach.
Still should be about 25. And Josh puts his upshot a little bit long down the hill. He'll have a little bit of a comebacker to work with here. Nice little stall spin putt there from Chris. Hyzer putt just did not come back enough, and that's going to be a bogey there for Josh.
It's very interesting. This hole today played harder than it did the other 2 days of play, but it also had more birdies than any other day. So very interesting combo with that after we see Josh tapping a bogey.
Yeah, I think depending on the type of lines that certain players like to throw, that crosswind does help, especially if you like throwing those flex sidearms, or you do, like we saw Josh do with his drive, throw one of those kind of cool hyzer flipping shots that starts out with a little bit of hyzer. The crosswind helps it, but for certain players, it's a nightmare wind to deal with.
Definitely.
Garrett taps in a stress-free 3, and we will see you on hole number 7. Hole number 7, 370-foot par 3. One of the toughest par 3s in the course, if not the toughest on the course.
Yeah, it's just straight the whole way, and these trees can be tricky. Any kick on this hole, any direction, and you could be looking at a 5.
Yeah,
even.
this is a quintessential Maple Hill hole. You hit the gap, you're going to at least take a par. But if you hit early, you are working. And Nico, I think, throwing a stag here. One of those signature, like, back off the shot, open your hips early on purpose to kind of push the disc slowly forward. And after Nico's goes pretty straight through the gap, Double G pulls his a little bit too far right. And that's the kick we're talking about.
Oh, that was a great shot from Chris. Aired the whole way, going to be in that little depression, short right of the basket.
Didn't quite see, actually, where that shot went. I think it went a little bit left. Yeah.
That's really well judged from back there. With that little hill in front of the green, those approaches from short can be really hard to get the distance right.
And Josh did kick a little left. Really not bad from where he was at.
Great shot.
And you can see Nico just kind of conceding par in this hole. I don't think he really was attacking this green at all.
And Chris ended up a little bit farther away than I think we initially thought. Great conversion there.
Yeah, great up and down from Josh. You can tell Josh has played at least a couple of wooded courses in his life. Nico with the par. Nice and easy for him. And Garrett showing off the sidearm skills.
Yeah, definitely not something that he pulls out super often, but when he needs it, he definitely has the shot.
And that is a bunch of pars, and we will move into hole number 8.
Hole number 8 is probably the signature hole here out on Maple Hill. It's just
one of the easiest too.
Yeah, it's just right there, right in front of you. Ace runs. We've been seeing it all weekend. Every player in the field is trying to ace this hole.
The difference today was the fact that, oh no, Nico.
God, come on.
And that's rough, to be honest. What I was mentioning earlier was there's a heavy crosswind now. As you see, Double G's mid-range just getting shoved, Nico's putter getting shoved. Luckily, he stays safe, but it's making this hole really hard to land it softly on the green.
Yeah, it also made it really hard to trust. As you see, all these players are trying to take that slight hyzer and leave it out to the right side and let it fade. Wow, as that one barely stays in. But really, with this wind, you have to commit to throwing it left of the basket almost and letting it take that little bit drift to the right.
And Josh just not getting enough on the disc.
Not quite committing fully. And this drop zone is really tricky.
Yeah, nearly the same shot, but just a little bit less distance.
Yeah, it brings these trees on the right into play a little bit, and that was a great slight hyzer from Nico.
Yeah, if you went OB in the water, you proceeded to this drop zone. Yeah, 2 great
Yeah,
shots.
Amazing.
Just making a correction on the wind.
Oh, and Garrett almost cashes the putt.
With a giant hyzer putt with
Yeah.
the water on the left side. That is bold.
And this putt is scary because now Chris does have... He's lining up a left-handed putt?
Really? You gotta love Frisbee, man.
I don't know if I've ever seen this. Oh my!
I think he
It
was.
It was on a great line
Yeah.
too. Maybe to play so the fade goes away from the water. But
It totally
wow,
was.
I don't know if I've ever seen anything like that.
I think we're gonna see more of that in the future. I think
Yes,
that's gonna maybe
definitely.
get some people's heads scratching, and
Yeah.
people are gonna start trying that. I actually have started righty putting as a lefty. Not often, but I understand Chris's decision there. And Garrett's giving Chris a little bit of crap for the lefty putt, but I just love the creativity in that, and I love the confidence to even run that from 45 feet. So let's actually back up a little bit, and we're actually going to watch some lowlights. We had some highlights and some ace runs from the other 2 days, just to let you all know that disc golfers are human, and professional disc golfers are definitely not safe from silly shots. It just kind of shows how this crosswind was making. Yeah, look at these discs rising and falling. Yep, just a little bit too much hyzer, and the crosswind just shoves it into the water. There's Germ. Trying to play with the crosswind.
And huge lift.
Oh,
no. Colt Montgomery. Oh, those trees.
Yeah, I really think, like, looking back, the play is to take that slightly overstable mid or putter and just jam it straight at the basket.
Mm-hmm.
That actually looks like a better line.
Oh my gosh! That totally caught us off guard.
What?
There's a third ace. I think I heard this happen on round 3. Wow.
What an emotional roller coaster that was.
Holy cow.
Hole number 9, as we're coming back down to earth from that, one of the weirder shaped holes in the course, actually one of the easier birdies that the players are getting out here. As long as you get to at least the top of this hill, you will have a look down to this island. Still not easy. You do want to bite off as much as you can off the tee and try to drift one down the hill, but anything works. Hitting early is the problem.
Yeah, that's going to be a tricky up and down from there. Chris going with the P Model S.
And that's the spot you don't want to be.
There's a beat up crown from Nico. And I like this forehand play. Ah, man.
Just hits a root.
Just a couple inches too low, because that's really what you need with the forehand.
Mm-hmm.
And Chris actually having to go out to the right a little bit after being short off the tee.
Yeah, if you can't see the island from your second shot, it's best to kind of concede the birdie.
Or I'm not really sure where that landed. And Garrett's running the island as well, and this looks great. Needs to go. Oh,
And that's going to be OB. And Chris has actually moved a decent ways up there after that kick, and he put himself to a spot where he can at least run for a par.
great speed control onto the green.
Yeah, those sinuses just don't seem to have any glide.
Mm-mm.
If you put a lot of spin on it, they just kind of sit down nicely.
Ooh, and just barely enough there from Chris. Get over that wall.
Tough spot there from Josh. We all feel you. We've been there before.
Oh. And we've all seen that far too many times. Just, It really doesn't matter the distance. The elevated basket, the little bit of wind, and the water behind can just sometimes take over your mind a little bit and
Absolutely.
either make you lose focus or almost have too much focus.
Yeah. There's that subconscious element of fear sometimes when you're having to save par and you know the dangers. The moment you wake up and let those fears kind of seep in, that's when these big numbers can start happening. And Josh moves to 2 over par after that double bogey 6. And Chris tapping out a bogey as well. From what I saw, it doesn't look like he got a bogey there. So not sure if he got a ruling from somewhere or we missed a shot, but kind of a rough hole for our card.
Yeah. And that finishes up the front 9. We have both Nico and Garrett under par, Chris sitting at even, and Josh at 2 over after that double bogey.
And that back 9 stretch is all about distance. If you can get down these fairways and these par 4s, you will have success. We will see how our card does. We will catch you on the back 9.
See ya.